Well, happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. What's going on? Hope all's well. Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan here to discuss the best sports topic I can come up for you today on this St. Patrick's Day that would have something to do with St. Patrick's Day in one way, shape, or form. So I decided to focus on a sports team that has a St. Patrick's type name or Irish type history, has a shamrock as part of their, as I recall, all right, as part of their logo, I believe. We're talking about none other than the Boston Celtics, and I've decided to do a video for you here today on St. Patrick's Day about a little bit about Celtic history. And when I say Celtic history, I'm going to put right up on that Snippets board behind me my top 5 Boston Celtics of all time. By the way, not an easy task, guys. Not an easy task. As a matter of fact, I got all kinds of honorable mention names and names that didn't quite make it up there. And even with that said, I'm going to be forgetting names. Flat out just leaving them off my honorable mention and the board. And that's where you guys come in to help me with this so that you can put in the comments the names that I missed. So you're part of this video too. Let's make it happen. And let's get this started here with my... Now, number 5, I had to put a couple of combos as an actual spot. So 5th, I'm actually putting 2 guys at 5th. As a matter of fact, 5th and 4th are 2 guys. I'm just going to give you a heads up. And then we go 3, 2, 1. Best 3 Celtics all time. So technically, we're really looking at a top 7 within the top 5. But at number 5, guys, let's get started. I'm doing a combo, and my combos are from like the same era / same teams, and mainly that 2008 championship team the Celtics had were head by Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, 2 pros that had very, very long careers. Paul Pierce, more the swingman type of guard forward scorer from the outside scorer, typical scorer. Played great defense. A lot of these great Celtic players, they all played really good defense, guys. And you know what I've noticed too, because I'm not necessarily a Celtic fan. I have nothing against the Celtics, of course, but I wouldn't consider myself a Celtic fan other than having a lot of respect and appreciation for this team and this franchise. But a lot of these Celtic greats, I noticed, they played forever. Like Paul Pierce played from, I think it was 1998 to 2013 for the Celtics, and then he finished his career with a few other teams, and he played up until 2017 with the Clippers. But I mean, this guy played, you're talking about almost about a 20-year career. Kevin Garnett is my second one. KG, same thing. Now, KG was one of the best power forwards of all time. Some may even say he was the best power forward of all time. Another great defender. But his main body of work was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. But because he was such a great player, and he also played with Paul Pierce on that 2008 championship team, I got to put both of them as number 5. Great careers, guys. These are Hall of Famers. Everyone on here is a Hall of Famer. At number 4, guys, I have to go 80s on you here. We gotta go Robert Parish, and I gotta go Kevin McHale. That's my other combo at number 4, the center and power forward of those great 80s teams, the Chief and Kevin McHale. Parish was a great defender. He was locked up with Kareem in a lot of those battles, and he was covering and guarding Kareem, and they had a pretty heated rivalry. Not only did both the Celtics and Lakers, as we all know, that's arguably the greatest rivalry in sports, but Robert Parish had his own competitive rivalry with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and played him about as tough as anyone when Kareem was still in his prime, and they played those great 80s battles they had. Oh, I remember in particular the 84 series, just to throw one out at you. What a tremendous series that was. Kevin McHale. You know, I read somewhere where they're saying that he's undersized. I don't quite recall that. Like, I don't remember when I'm watching Kevin McHale when I was in high school. I don't recall him or me thinking that Kevin McHale was undersized. Maybe that's just me. Or maybe because I was a little bit younger, I just didn't pick up on that. But Kevin McHale, I mean, the footwork that he had and just the moves with all the head fakes and the pivoting and the up and unders and all this stuff. I mean, he used to drive defenders crazy, had a great career. This was the front line along with Larry Bird that won multiple championships. They were great players and they were great team players. You rarely see these guys take bad shots. Any of these guys, really. But Parish and McHale, they were some great players. And they come in at number 4. Now we go to number 3, all-time Boston Celtics of all time, of course. And that is the one and only number 3. I'm going to have to go with a guy that just had a tremendous career. The one and only the late John Havlicek. We've heard of this guy. Some of you younger fans probably heard the name. I haven't really seen him play. Even if, you know, you're my age, I mean, my mean basketball early days go back to the 70s and mainly the 80s and the early days of me watching basketball. So Havlicek, what I'm getting at, is a little bit before my time as a fan. Not by much, but a little bit before my time. He won 8 championships, 8 NBA titles, career points per game, just under 21 points a game, over 6 rebounds, and just about 5 assists per game. John Havlicek would make 13 All-Star Game appearances, and he would be, here's a big stat for you guys, when you talk about John Havlicek and his contribution to the NBA over the years and how great of a player he was an 11-time All-NBA selection, guys. 11 times he was All-NBA. That's a lot. That's a lot, guys. John Havlicek, what a great player he was. And again, winning 8 championships is phenomenal. Number two, best Boston Celtic of all time. Now, of course, keep in mind, guys, this is all my opinion, so you might, you might be sitting there going, no way, man, Bill Russell was number 1. Or you might say, no way, man, Havlicek was number 1. Or Parish was number 1. Or KG, or any of these guys were number 1. And that's what makes this great sports debate / discussion, is we all have our opinion, we all have our rankings, and we all have way of where we rank players and teams and stuff like that. So you might put this guy number 1. That's cool. I'm going to put him number 2. He was one of the greatest all time. I'm talking about none other than Bill Russell, who won more championships than any Boston Celtic in their history. He won 11 championships, guys. Bill Russell, 11 championships. When I think of Bill Russell, sure, he could score points, and sure, he was a threat on the offensive side. But, guys, he was your ultimate in-the-middle defender, team player. This guy did whatever it took to win games. He was an anchor in the middle of that defense for those great Boston Celtic teams of the 1960s that won championship after championship after championship, and started his career in the 1950s. Bill Russell, really, and a lot of fans and basketball players of the generation before me, this was the guy they wanted to be like as far as playing the game. And I'm pretty sure this is what a lot of coaches wanted their players to emulate or to strive to play like. You know, we talk about playing the game right? Fundamentals, knowing how to guard someone, rebound in the basketball. Bill Russell was a tremendous player and goes on the list as my number 2 Boston Celtic of all time, which leaves us, guys, with just one more name, one more guy to go. We all know who this is going to be, I have a feeling. None other than the one and only Larry Bird. Guys, Larry Bird was absolutely phenomenal. He obviously won multiple championships, over 24 points a game in his career. One of the better perimeter players of all time. On the list as one of the greatest NBA players of all time, as Bill Russell was as well. And in a sense, John Havlicek was as well, too. Larry Bird, I mean, it was him and Magic in the 80s. All his teams either, if they didn't win a championship, they came really close. They would have won more. A couple more championships had Magic and Kareem not played during the same era. Larry Bird was absolutely amazing. And you know what's funny? And I just kind of picked up on this recently, guys, is that the younger fan base of today, the young sports fan, basketball, NBA fan, pro basketball fan, I've seen some videos on YouTube, right here on YouTube, where the 20-something-year-old guy is amazed when, I've seen a couple of these, amazed in a sense, when watching, because they never really saw him live, when watching footage, 1980s footage mainly, of Larry Bird in his prime, even out of his prime. He was an amazing player. The guy's ability just to make like a 20, 25-footer, 15-footer was like as close to automatic, I think, as I've ever seen. He was like the best perimeter player I think I've ever seen. He was a great passer. There's nothing he couldn't do. Paul Pierce, in a sense, was like that too, but you got to give Bird the edge. In other words, Paul Pierce, there really wasn't anything Paul Pierce couldn't do either. But Bird, he was a rugged rebounder. He was a really good rebounder. He was feisty. He was just, and he was a huge scorer in the league. When, you're scoring over 20 a game. The scoring was kind of the same back then, 30, 35 years ago, 40 years ago. Meaning, the final scores were kind of the same, 115, 105, 101, 92, like that. But guys, some fans and sports fans think Larry Bird was the greatest player of all time. I don't know if I'm going to go that far. I'm going to put him probably in my top 5 all time, and I will put him as my number 1 Boston Celtic of all time. So there you go, guys. There we have it. There's the top 5 sports snippets with Dennis Sullivan. Let me know what you think, guys. Put your all-time greats in the comment section, along with your top 5. If you are celebrating today, St. Patrick's Day, or any day after that, for that matter, watching this video, remember to do so responsibly. Have a good one. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.